sorry, just quickly. What if it's da 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 down down down.
In this video, I'm walking you through a home that has an incredible view in the community of Travisso, but this home is not on market or shown available anywhere online. More on that later. Now, this is the Vallagio plan built by Toll Brothers Homes. Now, it's over 5,900 square feet. It has 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, and it pretty much has every single room that buyers want in this current market. And if they want views, they like the hills of Austin, Texas, and the hills that are throughout the western side of the Austin metro, that's exactly what this home has. Now, it's also very open. You see that right when we walk in through the front door, where you get a good look at the curved staircase. There are also some great design and structural upgrades throughout this home, and I'm going to cover as much as I can throughout this walkthrough and show you that view from so many different angles. Now, my name is Raj Sahu. I'm a realtor in Austin, Texas, and I've represented clients with 20 different builders. So I'm going to give you the perspective of walking these homes with so many of my clients, and even the perspectives of some of my clients that have built with Toll Brothers, with a few that are actually under contract right now in this community. Now, I want to give a shout out to the agent that provided me this opportunity. That's Dave Kapoor at All City Real Estate. And I got to tell you, when Dave mentioned that he had this home and showed me some of the upgrades that were here in the kitchen, I knew I had to come out here and get a video of this, because this kitchen and the upgrades throughout this home are spectacular. Now, that starts right here in the kitchen. Notice they did two-tone kitchen cabinets, and the upper cabinets have glass inserts in them. So you could put a vase or some sort of design element in there that matches up with that color for the kitchen island, so they complement each other. Now, we did see it before. We have double sliding glass doors. So we have sliding glass doors in the living room, which we're gonna get back to in a second, and right here in the breakfast nook area. Now, somebody once told me the sliding glass doors are expensive. Does it make sense to do 2 of them? Well, when you have a view like this, the answer is yes. You have to do 2 of them, because it opens up both of those rooms and just captures that view in an incredible fashion. Now, these waterfall countertops are really nice. I also like the veins that are running through it. And so many of my clients tell me they want waterfall countertops just to make that kitchen island stand out. And for this specific home, they did a kitchen backsplash in a chevron pattern that just matches up really well with that countertop. Now, we will head outside later on in the video. I'm going to show you the extended covered patio that's on this home. And then if you prefer to build from scratch and you're just using this home tour as inspiration for great design, I'm going to show you one of the lots that you can build from scratch with Toll Brothers at the time I'm recording this video. Also, upstairs in this home, we have a covered balcony, we have a game room, we have a media room, we have a study. There is so much to see here for this home, and I think this in itself is a great opportunity. So stick with me here as we go through the rest of the home. Now, what I find so many of my clients say about Toll Brothers is it truly feels luxurious in so many of their plans. Now, that starts with a lot of great design items that are at their studio, but also their plans just have luxurious things that you don't see anywhere else. For example, off of this kitchen, there is a hidden second spiral staircase right here to get up to the second floor. And when you're at this square footage, I actually find this is one of the most underrated parts of the home. It's just having multiple access points to get upstairs. What's also underrated is having a glass insert in your pantry door. I actually noticed this in one of the first Toll Brothers model homes that I saw years ago when I first got into real estate, and I thought, why do you need a glass insert in here? This door is usually open. And the answer is, Through the pandemic, there were so many times where I'd just go down to my pantry. I wasn't even hungry, but I would just want to open up the doors and look around. It was just kind of something that I did. And that's a habit that I've carried with me. Maybe not the best habit, but now every time I go to my pantry doors, I just think if I just had a glass insert in here, I could just glance in, and this would probably save at least a year on my life of just walking to my pantry just to look around and look at the food. Let me know if you relate to that. And also let me know in the comments if you love this fireplace. So many of my clients say they want a fireplace in their home, not for the fire or that they think it's going to heat up the room. This is Texas, and those fireplaces don't heat up rooms anyway, but it's just for the aesthetic look. And so many of my clients say they love the idea of putting a piece of tile up there just to break up that wall and provide a very cool design element on that wall. And I think for this plan, it shows really well, and you still get a lot of space opened up on the back wall with those sliding glass doors. And then as you can tell upstairs, everything opens up well there, where we have a game room, media room, so much to see on that second floor. Now we will head outside after I showed this primary bedroom and bathroom, and I want to show this closet because we want to show as many details as possible in these plans. We also want to show the views. So when we get upstairs, which I keep talking about, there's this balcony, this game room that has a great view off of it, and that's why you need 2 staircases to get up there, because if you think the first floor is spectacular with some of these views, wait until you see that second floor. And I think this primary bedroom is such a great example of what it's like to live in this community. First off, it's huge. You got a tray ceiling, which I think opens up this space so well. And then those windows looking out to the view. Just imagine pulling the curtains in the morning to the side, and this is your view coming up here that looks out to the hills in Leander, Texas. And I got a lot to say about this fast-growing suburb outside of the Austin metro area. I will cover that later, but this is a big reason why people come out to this area. They see views like this, they see gorgeous rolling hills, and when you come out to this area at sunrise or sunset, it is spectacular. And I've literally seen people pull over their car to the side of the road, get out, and they're just looking at the sunset, and then they take out their phone, they take a picture. And what's funny is I did that as well. Even prior to the pandemic started, I was telling all my friends and family, like, are you seeing this area? Like, this is incredible. Like, this is in the Austin metro area, and it's close to some of the tech companies that are coming to North Austin. And so you can take advantage of the growth, and then you have the beauty that's here in the Austin metro, and then you have incredible homes just like this. And I think the spectacular design I mentioned to you before is right here also in the primary bathroom. I love the sinks over the countertop. I love the contrast here in the colors, the frame around the mirror, the tile that's all across so many different walls in this primary bathroom. And there are just so many great design options at Toll Brothers, and I think the sellers for this home really took advantage and made different parts of the home that you don't want to fix up later, like tile in the primary bathroom. They went all out and made it so that you don't have to come in here and make changes. Now, I will give you some things in a minute of things that you could change in the home that are very typical on a new build, but one of those things you definitely don't want to change is plumbing. And that's why having 2 different shower heads on either side and then a rain shower head, which you just saw there, is such a great functional element in the home where you can have quite the shower in here, but also it's just a great design element too in this huge primary shower. Now, a couple of the things that you could change that are very typical in a new built home are going to be the light fixtures. So a lot of people want custom light fixtures, like a chandelier. They have a certain aesthetic that they're looking for. So for a lot of builders, they don't provide those light fixture options. If they do, there is such a ridiculous premium on them, just because when this home's under construction, there's a lot of moving parts. There's so many guys in and out of this home. I've literally been in some of my clients' homes under construction, and there's 10 to 15 guys in there all at a time, all swinging around different pieces of equipment. So the last thing a builder wants is a very expensive light fixture in the home that could get damaged. And so that's why they end up charging quite a bit of a premium. Now, I have had a lot of clients do their pendant lights over the kitchen island after closing, and then big chandeliers, you can do that after closing. But just keep in mind, I wouldn't just get some regular like handyman guy to hang up a huge chandelier in 20-foot tall ceilings in like the foyer or like the living room or something like that. It's usually not a good idea. It usually takes somebody who really knows what they're doing. They have to bring in scaffolding. They have to be very careful with your chandelier. And I do have contacts if you're looking for that in the Austin metro area for hanging those types of light fixtures, because I've had some clients put in some spectacular light fixtures in their home after closing. Now, in this primary bathroom, we actually have two different closets. So the closet that we were just in previously was fairly large. This one's a little bit smaller, but you'll see we have a great deal of space in both of these closets and in that primary bathroom. And you tell me in the comments by the end of this video what your favorite part was of this home. My favorite part is actually in this bathroom because of the design items that were selected and because of this like surprise view that you get right from your closet. And I know if this was my closet or my primary bathroom, this would be my closet, right? Because it's the smaller one and my wife would definitely get the other one, but hey, at least I'd get the view, right? I also like this slit that you can just see into the bathroom, so that way everything still feels very open in this bathroom. In fact, both closets were private from each other, commodes private from the rest of the bathroom, but everything still feels very open, and that's why I think this bathroom feels so large. And I think you can say that for the rest of the home. A lot of these homes feel very open concept, but then you don't get privacy in these different areas, or the home's very open in the main living areas, but then all the rooms are very small. In this home, because the square footage is around 6,000 square feet, you just get these very large rooms, and then as you exit every room, you're met with these views, these rooms with tall ceilings, you have windows everywhere, and you'll see that here, like as you exit that hallway from the primary bedroom, everything opens up into that living room, or if you look the opposite way, into the foyer with the tall ceilings. And then you're gonna see that upstairs as well. Exit every room and there's a view somewhere, there's tall ceilings somewhere, and everything feels so open. And that includes this extended covered patio that has very tall ceilings. That's a balcony actually at the top left that we're gonna get to later on in the video. You already have fencing in place because, again, this is a resale home not being sold by Toll Brothers. And so the homeowner actually already put fencing around their yard. And by the way, that's not included with every builder in this community at the time I'm recording this video. And that's sometimes the advantage of getting a resale home, where you might have the homeowner that has already done some things in the home that you were going to do anyway, and then you can still add your touches in here. Like I mentioned, changing out light fixtures is simple to do. A lot of my clients do that. Even on the inside of the home, doing like accent walls or fun paint combinations on the inside of your home to draw attention to a specific room or a back wall, or do something fun. There's so many things you can do. But you can't do this. You can't get a view like this and make that up after closing. You have to buy a home that has a great lot. And this is a good example of an incredible lot here in this community called Travisso. And if you thought this view was great on the first floor, again, wait till we get upstairs. You'll see that view goes for miles off of that balcony, and that feeling that you get when you're here. I'm doing my best to capture it. My videographer is actually still using a cell phone. I don't want to use like a fancy DSLR and do like a cool blur and get all these fun shots. I think that's good, but I want to give you the perspective of a cell phone, because I'm telling you, if we can capture this via a cell phone, what do you think it's going to be like when you're here in person? And for so many of my clients that are looking at moving to Austin, they live in Seattle, they live in California, they're in tech, or they live in one of the cities in the northern part of the United States, and they're so tired of the winter, I tell them, plan a visit. Reach out to me first. Let's look at some options virtually. So when you're here, it's more of a review process. And I'm going to show you homes like this that may not even be shown online, but I can show you pricing. I can give an idea of the design upgrades, which you're seeing here again in the powder bathroom, which I think is incredible. And I can show you what's out here so that when you travel out to Austin, you're so much more prepared. And then I want you to take in these hills and the community, because that's the tough part about seeing this virtually. I can't give you a visual of what it's like to drive around here. I am working on that. I'm actually planning on putting a GoPro on the hood of my car and then having a camera on the dashboard inside my car to give you views of these communities. So I am working on that. Subscribe to my channel and I'll show you how to access videos like that sometime in the near future. But as of right now, I'm telling you, you got to see these things in person, because these homes open up so well, and then the views, the video just doesn't do it justice. You have to see these views in person. Let me show you one of those views right here. Now I'm standing in the new section that's here in Travisso that, as you can tell by the dirt roads behind me, is coming up. So if you have more time and you prefer building from scratch, these are the types of lots that have incredible views that you can build a luxury home right here in Travisso. Back to the video. Now, I shouldn't make any assumptions if you're not that familiar with Travisso. First off, how dare you? I'm just kidding. Obviously, Travisso is just one community in the Austin metro area, but it is very popular. A lot of people know about it. But if you don't, no big deal. I'll just tell you, it's a master plan community where they're building upwards of just under 3,000 homes at the time I'm recording this video. And as of right now, we're getting to one of the latter phases of the community that has a lot of lots. But once that phase closes out, there will be some other phases that come up, but they're just going to be very small, like 1 street, 2 street phases with not a lot of lots to build on. In other words, Travisso's on the verge of closing out over the next couple years, unless there's another announcement that they annex land. But as of right now, I don't really see that happening. And if you look at the northwest corridor of Austin, you have these beautiful hills that you're seeing behind this home. And if you get deeper into those hills, it's more difficult to get out. So if there are communities in the future, I don't see how they would be closer into Travisso. Whereas right now, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get to a lot of the amenities that are off of 1431, or what most people know here as Whitestone Boulevard. And a lot of those amenities are different restaurants and shops and grocery stores and movie theater, and pretty much everything that you want or need is off of that Whitestone Boulevard. Now that same road, Whitestone Boulevard, or 1431 on a map, is that same road that goes to the front entrance of Travisso. Now this home is at the front of the neighborhood, so we are relatively close by to that front entrance. And one of my clients actually closed in Travisso just down the street from this home. They're actually on the same road, and they tell me that they love the location. First off, they came from California, so they love the topography of the West Coast, and they wanted to capture that beauty here in Texas. They're also in tech, so the idea of working from home and paying 13% state income tax just didn't make any sense, and that's why they looked at Austin. And when they looked at Austin, they reached out to me. We just kept coming out to this neighborhood because it resonated with them so well. It reminded them of the beauty of California that they love. Now, I should say, we are in one of the spare bedrooms that's downstairs that has an in-suite full bathroom, so it's perfect for parents or anybody elderly staying with you that you want staying down on the first floor. And then we have the utility room here that has an island, a spot for a washer and dryer next to the sink, and then that door goes to the side swing garage. But I'll keep talking about my clients down the street because what's funny is they love the location. They wanted to be in the hills, but they didn't want to be so far out where they were out in the country and so far away from different amenities that they wanted to be close by to. And they loved the amenities that were off of that Whitestone Boulevard. But they also wanted a home kind of similar to this. They ended up buying around 5,000 square feet because their dream was to have all of their family stay with them when they visit from overseas. A lot of their family are still back in India. A lot of their parents are still residing in India. So when they come here, they want that bedroom downstairs for their parents to stay comfortably with them. They want a lot of room because they have a lot of cousins, a lot of friends staying with them at a time. And when I say a lot, after they closed on their home, they had 43 people stay with them. And you might ask yourself, well, why would a couple with no kids but planning on it, buy such a large home out of the gate. And that's why I was here when they had 40 plus people in their home. And it was so exciting to see them afterwards, because when all their family left, you could tell they were exhausted, but they knew they were just so fulfilled. They had so much joy in their eyes, and you could see that because that was their dream, to house all of their family so that they could all spend time together. And that is special. I love seeing that. By the way, we walked through the dining room that you saw previously, so there was a big separate dining area there off of the left, just left of the stairwell, and then here we have a study. Now, this study does have a couple windows that look out to the driveway, and then to access the one-car garage, this is the door that you would use. Now, I've had clients look at this plan before and say, why would you have the door here? You'd have to walk through the study where somebody's working from home. Here's the thing, you're not really using this door as often because your one-car garage is probably being used for storage. Like if you have your bikes or kids' bikes or all the stuff that you need to store, this is the place for it, and you're usually accessing this from the driveway, right? Because usually you go out the driveway, you put shoes on from the garage, and then you could just have an app attached to your garage, open up the one car, and then access all your bikes and stuff. So I don't think you're going to be using that doorway as often as you might think. But I do know you will be using the second floor often because of the spectacular views that's here and the rooms that so many of my clients say they absolutely want to have in their home. Now, first off, when you get to the top of the landing of this floor plan, I like how everything opens up with the windows and the balcony that we're going to get to, the transom windows that are down here in the living room, and take a look at the natural light that's coming in just from the sliding glass doors. And I think that light reflecting off of the tile around the fireplace, off of the floor, off of the upgrades in the kitchen, everything just lights up so well in this home. Also, let me know what your opinion is on that herringbone pattern. That's definitely different. I don't see that as often, but they just wanted to change something up so your eyes go right out through those sliding glass doors. And I thought that was an interesting upgrade to do. Now, this is fantastic. So many game rooms in Travisso when they look off the side of the home. I think that's so tough when you have such a great view off the back of the home. In this home, I love the half moon window that's above the balcony doors, just providing some good natural light, but giving you a taste of that view that's here off of the back of the home. And I gotta get you more of a taste though. Let's open up this door and show you why so many people move to Travisso. And I have a client that's building from scratch right now that has a view off their backyard. I had just had a client move into their home a few months ago that also has a view off the back of their yard. This is why people come out to Travisso in Leander, Texas. It's because these hills never get old. Now I'm going to give you a better glimpse of these hills too, because that roadway that you see that curves up that hillside in the back towards the end of this video, I went up there because I take my clients there a lot. I drive down that hill to show them the spectacular views that are here, and I want to show you what that looks like, and we'll do that towards the end of the video, so stick around for that. But I will want to hear from you in the comments. What did you think of this view off of the second floor balcony that's also right off of the game room? And if you recall, we have that similar view in the patio down there that is massive. I think actually this gives you a good idea of how tall these ceilings are when you get out to that patio, and that just feels so grand. What also I'm noticing here are the archways. Notice the archways in the patio, also above the windows. You'll see that throughout the home, and a lot of builders, including Toll, have taken out some of those curves. Now, there's a couple reasons why. Some of them say, well, they want it to be more straight lines, more modern, but also with labor and materials going up in cost due to inflation, a lot of times even just putting curves in something rather than a straight line, it just becomes too much for some of these builders as they try to pick up more quantity in these master plan communities. That's why this is another reason why this home could be a very good opportunity if you like those different curves in the home that you just don't see as often now in these new build homes. You also don't see this, a media room in the front of the home, kind of away from the game room, so it's a little bit more private. And it's huge. It's right off of that second stairwell that we saw previously that's to the right of the kitchen, and that way you can get quick access to this media room. And look, I know this home is empty, but I have so many different model home tours of these homes that are fully staged with cool accent paint walls, with different paints, I should say, different ceiling designs. There's so many things that you can do after closing, but again, you just can't get the view, and you probably don't want to rip up tile, cabinets, countertops, and I think the homeowners for this specific home put their money in the right areas. And you saw that downstairs in the kitchen, some of the bathrooms. You'll see that up here in some of the bathrooms as well, and some of these other things like accent walls, light fixtures like we mentioned previously, very typical to change and change them to your taste. Now, while we go through the rest of the second floor, which has 3 bedrooms and 3 full bathrooms, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the market. If you're watching this currently in June of 2024 or summer of 2024, what's happening right now? And then if you're watching this sometime in the future, I'm going to give you a couple of mistakes that buyers make, and that will help you no matter what market we're in at the time you're watching this. So getting to our current market, right now in the summer of 2024, what's happened recently is we've seen an influx of inventory in the Austin metro area, and that contradicts what's happened in the United States. It's going to give you some numbers on that. It started in the spring of this year, where in April, if you look at the nation's inventory, April 2019 to April 2024, the inventory went down 35%, and that's in the United States. In the Austin metro area, and that kind of includes like Austin, Round Rock, Georgetown, like the metro, the inventory from April of 2019 to April 2024 increased 26%. So the nation went down 35% in supply of inventory. We went up as an Austin metro to up 26%. So I'm getting a lot of clients reaching out to me asking, well, is now the right time to buy? And I literally just had this happen last night with one of my clients who's moving here from Seattle. They work for Amazon Whole Foods location. And then I have another client that works at Amazon. And so I'm getting these clients that say, hey, I live in Seattle. I love the topography in Seattle, the beauty, and I want to find something like that in the Austin metro area. And so they're looking at neighborhoods like this in Travisso, and then they're looking at these big headlines about Austin supply increasing. And so when I go back to their question of what is the right time to buy, first off, it really depends on their criteria. It depends on the areas that they're looking at. And that's where, when I get people's criteria, I build out a buyer board through this software platform called Trello that showcases all their options. If we're looking at builders, instead of giving a base price and then doing all this math at what you need to add to the base price, I'll actually give you a final price so you can compare what you can build with a construction company, what that final price would look like, and compare it to homes like this. Some homes that you can't even see that are on market, or other homes that are for sale that you see the final price. And by the way, that's an incredible design there. I love that accent wall. The rain shower in a spare bathroom is definitely different. And this is kind of the spectacular upgrades that I've been referring to that are absolutely in this home. The extension of the tile into the closet is another one. So many good parts about this home. But getting back to my point, for so many of my clients that ask about the timing, I tell them the answer to their question is it all depends on the local market. Now, when I say local market, I do not mean Austin. Austin as a city, as a metro area, has so many different types of inventory. You can't categorize in one category downtown condos with investment properties 30 miles outside the city, to $1 million homes that are west of Austin's downtown, to $1 million homes that are in the suburbs that's surrounded by new construction. There's so many different types of homes. It doesn't make sense to put them in one category and judge them all together. I think you have to look local, meaning look at the local community. What's happening in each of these communities? Are there similar communities close by to this one that we can match up that inventory together? And then we ask ourselves, what's happening in that specific local market? And the answer to that question for Travisso is interesting. First off, there aren't that many neighborhoods that feel like Travisso. I often tell clients, hey, if you like topography, here's another neighborhood, here's another one that has great rolling hills, but it's not going to be like Travisso. Treviso has these dramatic sunsets and these views that are spectacular, and I just don't think these match up apples to apples with these other neighborhoods. Also, homes like this that also have a cool accent wall and rain showers in their spare bathrooms, you may not see that in other neighborhoods as well. Your Travisso buyer tends to put in a little bit more upgrades than I see with other communities that have the same exact builders. But getting back to Travisso, I just tell people right now, if you're looking at high-end Travisso homes, we actually don't have that much inventory. In the spring of this year, I had 2 clients that actually contracted in Travisso, and at that time, Toll Brothers sold out in their 80-foot wide lots, and then they're not going to have more lots for many months from now until their new phase opens up. And then the other builder in this neighborhood started to sell out too, and they were about to drop incentives, and they dropped it a very considerable amount. And my point in sharing that with you is you can take one neighborhood like Travisso and look at a specific price range and realize, wow, they made a lot of sales earlier this year and they don't have that much supply at a certain price range. And then you can take another community that's in the North Austin corridor that has some topography. Again, it's not Travisso, but does have some terrain. And you look at the builders that are there and they have so much inventory. And that neighborhood's pretty far away. It's like 30 minutes away from this community. But that's the difference just between 2 different communities that are both in the North Austin area, one that doesn't have as much supply and one that does and has a ton of supply and is seeing that hurt pricing in that area. And so I think if you're a buyer right now, it's so important to look into the details. And if you want those details, let me show you how to get them right here. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. What did you think of the Vallagio plan with Toll Brothers Homes? What do you think about the views that are here in Travisso? Now, if you want to see more homes for sale, that's on my website at the top of the description of this video. And then if you want that unbiased perspective on your best options, reach out to me, text or call me introducing yourself. My number's at the bottom of the description of this video. Now, if you want to see another home built by Toll Brothers, that's one of their most popular plans. It's the Rolling Hill plan. I'm going to put that right here. And as always, I hope that helps. Take care, everyone.